What's up, people? Welcome to the final episode of the Rent Check for the season. Ashlee Woods, what's up?
Hello. I am no longer in a hotel. I am now back home. I am no longer in my parents' basement. I am now back home. It's great.
You're an adult now.
I've always been an adult. I was just home for Christmas because I like spending time with my family. How are you today, Francisco?
I'm good, and I'm also, I expected. I know we're here to talk about Hurts and Devontae, but I'm really disappointed that the Eagles did not put up a better effort yesterday against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought it was gonna be a closer game, but the one thing everyone's talking about, it seems like, and it's been the talk of the season, really, is like, Hurts the guy? Is he not the guy? Look, the game against Tampa, it was a tough game for Jalen. I just don't. It seems like everyone wants to talk about his future this offseason. Is he the guy for next year? I want to put this to rest. He is the guy going into next year. I know I've talked all season about, or not all season, but for a good amount of the season, I talked about how, he might be a career backup, or he is, or this and that. I'm not ready to say he's the franchise guy. I don't want to talk about that today. I want to have a little bit of positivity here. I think Jalen. I know he is the guy going into next season. Yes, he had a really bad performance yesterday, but a part of that was the game plan from Nick Sirianni. They went away from everything they did in the second half of the season, albeit against subpar teams, like really subpar teams. But it is the NFL. You did what you had to do to win those games, but they completely went away from that. They gave the ball to Miles Sanders, who was coming off a broken hand. They didn't give the ball to Boston Scott, Jordan Howard enough. Not even close to enough. That's an understatement. And that that was a role in to how Jalen Hurts played his game. He was forced to throw the ball down the field, and it looked really bad. And that's the areas of the game that he's going to have to work on going into next season. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with free agency, if they're going to get Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. But I'd be happy either way. I think that Jalen, I like progress, and I edge towards patience. Sometimes it might not seem that way, but I want to be patient with Jalen. I did like what I saw this year, and we're going to get into the season evaluations in a second, so I don't want to go into too much of that. But I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think that this playoff game automatically, sums up what Hurts' season was and what he could be going into next year. So, Ashlee, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it, because you have been a Jalen advocate for the most part this year. Maybe I wasn't for the entirety of the year, but at the end of the day, Ashlee, I got to get your thoughts on this too.
Welcome to the side of rationality, nuance, and patience, Francisco. I'm so glad you're here. We have cookies, we have brownies, we have pizza. It's great.
That stuff isn't good for you.
It's good for you when you're on the winning side. Anyway, this game was never going to determine Hurts' future, really, because they are. I think the season before the playoff game really determined whether or not they were going to stick with Jalen or not. I think had the season gone a little bit differently, maybe they don't make the playoffs. Maybe Gardner Minshew does a little bit better when he's in Jalen Hurts' absence. Maybe there's like a argument for Gardner Minshew being the guy and we ship off Jalen Hurts after 2 years. But this game really wasn't going to define it. I think it will only bolster his chances more than determine his future. I think now people are realizing how young he is and how much more time he still needs to be, and shipping him off to a completely different team really doesn't benefit the Eagles anyway, because we're going to be starting from square one yet again. And we can't afford to start from square one with the offense when the defensive side needs a whole heck of a lot of things. We can't afford to do that. So I really don't think, in my eyes, this game was going to determine Hurts' future, because I think this team is aware.
I want to say this, actually, though. Did you know that that Gardner Minshew was trending on Twitter yesterday as Hurts was playing a bad game?
I don't think so. Gardner Minshew is trending whether Jalen Hurts does well or not. That's neither here nor there. I'm not worried about that side of Eagles Twitter. That's the side of Eagles Twitter I don't go on because they're irrational. They're not logical. They're not nuanced. They don't get the cookies, the brownies, and the pizza. You, however, because you're joining the squad, get the cookies, the brownies, and the pizza.
I still want my fruits and veggies. What are you talking about? Nah, can I do that and be
and have my fruits and veggies? No, they're not going to have. They don't have fruits and veggies over there because if they were eating their fruits and veggies, they would have a bigger.
Maybe I'm going to go back to the irrational side, even though it's somewhat rational.
Oh my God, somewhat rational, yet they're trending Gardner Minshew. Anyway, I think
so. You agree with me that this game does not?
Yes, it never was. It was never going to determine anything. Y'all were just looking for a storyline yet again to make it.
What the Eagles fans are doing.
To push Gardner Minshew propaganda for some weird reason. I don't understand. Like, I don't hate Gardner. I feel like I sound like a Gardner Minshew hater. I really don't. I think he's a decent quarterback. I think he's a great guy. I think his story is pretty great. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and be weak at the knees, as I said in a group chat with my friends earlier. I'm not going to be weak at the knees for Gardner Minshew. I'm just not. I'm not. Okay? It's fine. We have two very decent quarterbacks, and there's no reason why you need to pick one side or the other.
I agree. And so let's also talk about Devontae Smith had an okay game. And he's had a lot of okay games this year. He's had a lot of good games, and he's had games where he was non-existent. I want to say this. Devontae, I'm proud of the season he's had. We're going to get to that because we're going to wait for that. But Devontae, him having an okay game it's strictly on the way Jalen Hurts played and also Sirianni's game plan, but it's more towards the way Hurts played, him throwing the ball downfield. It seemed like he was trying to force a lot of balls. And I mean, because Devontae had 11 or 12 targets and he had 4 catches. That's a 30% rate right there of catching the ball targets. Strictly on Hurts, the way he threw the ball. Now that also comes back to Sirianni and drawing up a game plan to put Hurts in better positions to throw the ball to his talent. But him throwing the ball downfield really affected how because Devontae's your number one receiver, and you need to get him good balls. You needed to get him at least 5 to 6 catches and a touchdown. He didn't have either. I don't think he had a touchdown. Correct? I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't think. No. Was that touchdown that was called back in the end zone where he stretched out his hands? Was that called back?
I don't know. He got picked off on one. I mean,
there was a touchdown. I think he was in the end zone and he outstretched his hands. Jalen was forced out of the pocket and made a sidearm throw, and Devontae Smith caught the ball. I don't know if they I didn't watch much of the game because I was working. Alabama women's basketball. Woohoo! I saw that play, so I wasn't sure if that
didn't count it.
They didn't count it. Oh, that's really unfortunate. But anyway, he doesn't have a touchdown. That's really unfortunate. That I don't mean to cut you off here.
No, go ahead. I was pretty much done.
It's really unfortunate that Devontae Smith didn't have a big game because I think if Devontae had a bigger game, had more catches, this game looks a lot different, especially with how inconsistent the Buccaneers secondary has been throughout the season. I really do think we had a chance to kind of exploit that a little bit, and we didn't have to. And part of that is on Hurts because he has been struggling with the deep ball all season. That's not a surprise to me that this came up with the secondary that's a little bit better than what the secondaries that he has been facing as of late. But it's also on Sirianni. I agree with that. Sirianni has not come up with a really good game plan for a team that has a winning record. I don't know what it is. I know that I don't understand why he went away what was working because I don't mean to get into the whole the team aspect because we're only covering 2 players, but it seems like it's on both sides of the ball. When they play good teams, it's on both sides of the ball, right? When they play good quarterbacks, offense and defense. I don't know why they completely go away from this. You know what I mean? Well, when the defensive side of the ball is playing arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, of course you're not going to look that great. But I'm saying they couldn't even put up points, though. I mean, I figured they put up 15. They put up that 15. Was points, so man. They stopped trying after. They put up 15. Give them the 15 points. No, okay? I'm not giving them 15. Okay, well you can just sit there and be better. Okay, I won't give them their 15 points because they went down there and got 15 points. But This is a trend that needs to get fixed in the off season, especially if this team is going to commit to Hurts and Sirianni for the near future. They got to figure out a way to get that deep ball working along with the run game, because you can't abandon the run and just be like a passing team. You can't do the run and you can also not only just run the ball. Like, you have to be complimentary. And I don't think we were complimentary enough yesterday, and that goes on Sirianni, and that goes on Hurts, and that goes on Shane. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, so I'm not going to say it.
Vincent Barcher say Steichen, but I don't think that's right. I don't. Steichen looks like that's the right way.
We're going to call him.
I walked in one day and Vincent Barcher like Steichen. I'm like, no, that can't be it.
We're gonna call him Shaney S. That's what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Shaney S. And we're just gonna leave it at that. We're just gonna leave it at Shane. I mean, that's between you and the Lord. I'm just gonna call him Shane. But yeah, this was not the game that we needed from Smith or Hurts on either side, and it really sucks because how Hurts performed and how Sirianni called and Shane called the game really affected Hurts' play. I'm sorry, Smith's play.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Isn't it nice to agree? Like we haven't agreed a lot of the season, but it's nice to agree.
Yes, because you are just irrational sometimes.
Oh my God, I know. I know. I'll talk about it a little bit. Anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, convince Vince can edit that part out. So to close out, let's just kind of give season grades here. At the end of the day, Devontae Smith did break Deshaun's rookie record for receiving yards or receiving catches. It might have been both. I forget. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm so happy for him. And it was both, I believe.
Of course you do, because he's a Bama guy. All right.
Roll Tide.
Regardless, though, I thought Devontae was one of the better rookie receivers in the league. I think that's an accomplishment. I think there's fans that have said, "Oh, he needs to do more." Well, it's more the game planning, and if the Eagles had decided to actually get him the correct targets and put the right game plan around him, he could have the numbers that Jamar Chase was putting up this year. So I thought Devontae had a good season. I'm excited to see what he's going to do for the Eagles the next 5 or so years, because it's going to be really exciting. And as far as Jalen goes, like I said in the beginning, I'm kind of just going to echo what I said in the beginning. He is the guy going to 2022. Not worried about if he's the guy in 3 to 5 years, because that's my definition of a franchise guy, is a guy that you can see being your quarterback for at least 3 to 5 years down the line. So Jalen, I love what he can do with his legs. I think we need to cater to him that, more next year, consistently next year. And the team's identity was running the ball, and that's what you need to do around him. And I hope that he can continue to improve on areas as far as making reads, because he didn't do that against Tampa. He was really bad. Excuse me. And if the arm strength, if that can come along, it doesn't really come along with NFL quarterbacks too much. Once you get to the NFL, it's kind of what you got. But accuracy, work on that, and the arm strength. Hopefully that these things can all improve. Because we know he's a great leader. We know he's a great mobile quarterback. So I'm content with where we're at right now, and I'm happy we made the playoffs. So it was, to a certain extent, it's a successful season. So I'm happy with what Devontae and Jalen, did this year, and I'm curious to know your thoughts, Ashley.
I didn't hear a letter grade for either of them for you, so I'm just
okay.
gonna.
I know I did say season grade. I didn't plan on that, so I kind of did say season grade just because it sounded good. So I'd give Jalen, with the expectations of how they were, I'm going to give him a B+, and I'm going to give Devontae probably a B. Yeah, I'd say I give Devontae a B. So good seasons from both. All right, Ashley, tell me.
Wow, the Jalen advocate is a little bit harsher on Jalen. That's crazy. Anyway,
is today even real?
Is today real? I don't know. But I think for Jalen, it's a B-. I do think he had a good season. It exceeded a lot of people's expectations of him going into the season, especially with how everything went down with the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, whose name I will not mention.
Who must not be named.
Who's not must be? Yeah, that guy. How that all went down. There were a lot of expectations on him, and I think he, for the most part, he did pretty well. You know, he came in and in his first full season starting, you know, did some really great things, but also showed that he is still very vulnerable in some areas, like the deep passing game, you know, reading defenses, taking what the defenses give him. And I really do think that comes with time. So I think overall, solid B, solid C plus around there. I think
C plus. Damn, you barely pass it.
Yeah, well,
you know what it is in college. If you don't at least get that C minus, you are at C. You got to retake the class. So that's at the university. I mean, he's at a C. I said C plus B minus. Okay, so we'll give him a firm B minus. We'll stick right there, firm B minus. For Devontae, I think he had a really great season, given what he was dealing with throughout most of the season. You know, a quarterback that was struggling with accuracy issues, a coach and an offensive coordinator that really didn't scheme to his strengths properly, and he still was able to, you know, accomplish what he was able to do this season. You know, breaking Deshaun Jackson's rookie record. I do think that he was able to be a star and show like just how talented he is. So I give him a B plus for the season, considering how he was able to execute in not great situations. I don't think had Sirianni given him more touches, had Shane figured out a way to use him properly, that he's competing with Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow and Devontae Smith has Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow is a more accurate deep ball passer than Jalen Hurts. So I don't think that scheming offensively changes that, but I do think that Devontae had a good season despite all of the stuff that was like on him and everything. Yeah. So what did you give Devontae? What was it like?
I gave him a B plus.
Okay. All right. I respect that. I don't respect the Jalen grade.
Yeah, I didn't say that to get your respect.
It's okay. I'm just telling you. It's us two on this show, so if I give my opinion, it matters. So
does it? Does it really?
I think it does. All right. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in this season. This was really fun. Shout out to Vince Quinn and John Barchard. They are the two of the best people on the planet. Really appreciate them for letting us do this show on the platform and everything. Actually, we had fun this season covering Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. I know you had a lot of fun, and you had this connection with them with Tuscaloosa and Alabama. You know, I like them too. Just because I didn't go to Bama doesn't mean I can't have a little connection, because they are birds now. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone at Bell and the Birdmen. It was a blast this season. And thank you to you, Ashlee, because this was really fun. So yeah.
You're welcome. I'm so happy that you have fun with me. I have fun sometimes. I have fun.
There you go. I do have fun all the time. That's Ashlee translation for all.
I have fun a little bit of the time, you know, occasionally. But it would thank you to Vince and John for tagging me along, and you know, dealing with a whole bunch of dudes this season was kind of chaotic. Not gonna lie. At points, you know, because I am
it's good content. We know you love content.
I love content. Do I love chaos all the time? But not all the time. But you know, it's fun. I was the only female perspective, so that was fun. But I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting. And hopefully next season's a little bit better for the Eagles. So that's all we have today for y'all. We'll catch you on the flippity flop. Go Birds.
The flippity flop. Get out of here. We're out.